Do I control this thing now? I don't understand what just happened. I like exactly when I shut off the other recording, this just started happening. I I don't understand. Does what? What? It's like a loading screen. I can't even talk on this. It just activates a new thing. Oh my god. Okay, well, let me get back to the Wait, no, please. Just stop. You know what? Let me find a pretty image. Let me find a pretty image. All right, that's my image. Please, just please let me talk. Okay. All right. So, let me take off my headphones. Okay. I don't like playing this game. I think playing this game is one of the worst feelings I have ever had in my life. Like, holy shit. I grew up playing Game Boy Advance games. Most of those games controlled on a grid. Feels perfect. Everything's precise. You know what I mean? Pokemon, you know exactly where you're walking. Might not know where you're going, but you know exactly where you're walking. You can exhaust options to find out. This game is just awful to play, guys. Like, I get it. I get that it's... I know that's the weakest point. Even if people want to fucking lie to me and say, no, no, it's supposed to be like that. Shut up. Just stop lying to yourself. I think this game would have been perfectly fine without a fucking grip meter. It's not like anyone really... You know what I mean? No one... It's like... It didn't feel like resource management. It felt like something to prolong. You know what I mean? It's not like bullets. When you run out of bullets, you don't think this game is trying to extend my time because you have other options anyway, but you don't have the advantage of this extra resource, you know? I honestly think the game would have been fine without, because it's a combination of the grip meter and then just shaking. So it doesn't feel like it's like your fault. It's like if your gun automatically shot 3 times, but like you just never got to control this. Like it just keeps on shooting, but you can run out of bullets and you're like, ah, damn, that was my fault. No, it's just something to prolong the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, playing this game is just the most awful thing, and that really does hurt a game. That being said, there is a lot of mysticism, just wonder and fantasy. Like even this picture alone, it's like it's just such its own identity of like, wow, you're fucking slaying giants. There's a lot of I fucking don't want to say anything positive about this game. There's a lot of great things within this game. There's even a lot of great, like there's a lot of greatness in this game. Its execution and what you have to do as a person makes it all really not great and not even good for me. That ending might have been interesting. And then they made you play that part and it was stupid, and then they got like weirder and weirder. That's fine. I'm sure people are gonna call this a masterpiece. I actually did hear this compared to Death Stranding in this one review, and I agree. I kind of agree. I'm a little more interested in playing Death Stranding, but a lot of like the frustrations and aspects and what you're doing in these games, which is funny because they're both really large games, really beautiful games, and yeah, they're very empty. They're a lot about looking at nothing, doing nothing, and then playing frustratingly horrible combat sections. I hate this game. I feel bad about that. Literally, after a certain point, it would never have gone up between and I like one thing. It's already passed on I like one thing, and yeah, it's a beautiful game. It's got this great pull-in wonder factor to it. The music is fine. I don't think it's that amazing, but the way they use it is definitely effective. Like when it starts kicking in, but it also becomes exhausted, because you're still doing whatever the fuck caused you to start the music. Honestly, the best time the music is used is not even during fights, because you have to listen to it for like a fucking hour after. No, I know I'm exaggerating time, guys, but like when it falls, sometimes they play music to like mark its death. At least it dies in that moment. It works as like a musical cue rather than the longest just background music you'll ever listen to. But honestly, I'm just not that big of a music person concerning like soundtracks per se, unless it really highlights or stands out like a particular moment or something. Like again, Yu Yu Hakusho's music, I forgot like all of it, but once that intro kicked in, I was like, dude, that is one sick riff. I like this. And then, you know, the brass instruments come in. I was like, okay. And then when they do like the sad music in there, it's effective. It's all cool. When they do the dun, 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 like during like fight scenes, oh man, all the music in there is great. Okay, for here, I can't remember a single one. I just remember they were fitting for whilst I was fighting, and I won't disagree with that. Even the outro song, I just heard it, don't fucking remember it, but it was very nice. Right, so for me, it's just more of a fitting passing thing. I've never really played a game like and try to sell it with the music unless it's like Last of Us, and even then, Last of Us is like it's more musical cue, and it is good music, but it's like more of a cue thing. It marks and accents things. Like even Naruto, I love Naruto music. Right, all that shit. It's all memorable, right? But it's because it accents something that's why it latches on to me. For here, I mean, it's just a bunch of it. It's good, but it's just so many of it. There's not like a shout. Not that I remember, like a shout of the Colossus theme. Maybe it was the same thing. Wouldn't have noticed. I apologize, but I just wouldn't notice because so much shit is happening. Why would I care about the music right there? Yeah, core gameplay of this game, I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. I kind of want to play something generic now, which I think I'm going to after this. I think I got Batman. I'm quite sure, could be wrong. That game is, I mean, it wasn't generic at its time, but, you know, after, you know, setting like a standard for, you know, this superhero game model and, what was it, riot fights, let's say, it became generic in terms of like, yeah, I should know how to control this game. Even Spider-Man was harder to control than that game. Because you actually had to pick a direction to dodge. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm kind of also burnt out on Batman. Like, obviously, I've been bitching about me not liking that new Batman. It's just because it's just because of how applauded it is. Much like this game, it is so applauded, and I think it was so dumb. Yes, it looked cool. Yes, there's nice sound design. It's bad. Like, it's fine. Like, it's again, like there are all these aspects to the movie. It's not like the worst thing. Like, I didn't like hate the movie. I definitely hated its story and probably its characters, which kind of are matter to me. But like a lot of it was like cool to look at, but I was so fucking about to fall asleep. Which is happening a lot now with some of these war movies I'm watching with my dad. Like their stories are so annoying. Like they're fine, but sometimes they're fighting over like religion. Like I never cared too much about this, but they're like all these people are Christians, but these people are Catholic, and these people are Orthodox. Like this is a war in like the 1450s, guys. Okay, so like they look to God, we look to Jesus, and I'm like, why are we fighting over? Y'all both say amen. Whatever. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm not that caring about it. And it was actually funny because the Orthodox supported the Muslims, I believe. Is that a law? Am I getting that wrong? So sorry if I'm wrong. I get Islam and Muslim confused because people confuse them, but I'm pretty sure it's Muslim. I might be wrong. I apologize. But yeah, they're basically like, yeah, no. We accept their religion more because at least it isn't like a perversion of our actual religion the way the Catholics are. And I was like, wow. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of stuff's putting me to sleep. So like if I am playing Batman, dude, I'm so burnt out on Batman. But yeah, because I just went through like Batman Begins. I did go through the Dark Knight trilogy not just a while ago. You know what I mean? Then Batman Beyond, and then the animated Batman series. Like, I'm so burnt out. Anyways, again, talk about this game, right? I love the scale. Like, it has this massive feel to it, and like, I get that they want to do that with the camera, but it's like, if you're gonna do that with the camera, like Uncharted supports your camera. Like, as far as I could tell, like your camera's usually in the right place so you can experience like the coolness of what the hell's the dynamic action, but it also doesn't get in the way of your gameplay. This is the opposite. There is such a dissonance between how it wants your camera to look like and what you need to do to maneuver. It's like the wrong angle all the time, right? I don't know if you people are blind. People are blind to this game the same way they're blinded by negativity towards Last of Us 2. And same thing for Final Fantasy 7. They're blinded by their nostalgia. That's fine. That's fine. If you don't have to suffer through this stuff, that's good for you. But for all people who did suffer through it, I'd like them to have some acknowledgement as well. I'm one of those people. I want some acknowledgement, so I'm not insane, okay? Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I felt like I was fighting this game the entire time. I felt like solutions to these puzzles were like they're random and stupid most of the time. People didn't care because why would they care about a real puzzle? I mean, that's fine. I get it. I like actual answers to a puzzle that you figure out. Like there's a logic to it. Like Gorogoa, Antechamber, fucking Cardo, the pedestrian. Like puzzle games. I'm actually insulted because people are like, you know, that. Oh god, I hate reading comments for this game. I'm gonna mock you guys. I apologize because I know you guys are fans. I get annoyed by these two groups that I'm hearing, which is the first one. I already forgot. Yeah, you know, people call this a boss rush game, but it's really a puzzle game. Like, shut up. That is the same thing of like Uncharted being a puzzle game because of the final boss in Uncharted 2. It's like, you have to solve it. You have to solve it. No, it's not a puzzle game. I get why you would think it is. It's a platforming. Like, that's the difference. People should tell you it's a platforming game because that's what it is at its core. It really is a platforming game. Yes, there's puzzle-ish mechanics, but they're not solvable in its own right. They're just stumbled upon random hinted thing. Most of the time. Like, if it's actually hard, that's what happens. I don't see some people just solving some of these things because they're like, oh, no, of course you're supposed to do this. Like, logically, no. Even the hints, that pisses me off. The hints were weird, and they were oddly, like, never moving to a new hint. So they would tell you a hint to, like, this first part, and then the second hint, like, there would be no second hint sometimes. It would just sometimes not happen. Or it would, like, be misleading because you're, like, still focused on, you know what I mean? It's like they misdirected you on accident. They would tell you that this is what you're supposed to do, and then, like, and then the other part would not be anything related to what you just did. Anyways, I like some of them. I can't think of any right now. I think I'm way just too upset at that final fucking boss. So there were some cool ones, guys. Like, I hate the game, but I don't hate the entire game. Overall, I hate the game. Like, I've already said all the positives. Those are the only positives. But the massive negative is playing this dog crap. The ending. I don't even know. Do I want to talk about the ending? The ending comes off so fucking weird. My only, like, it's Asian. It sounds like I'm being racist, but, like, again, if you guys see enough Asian endings, like, they don't write endings that fit. They just write the ending that leaves an emotion, and I'm fine with that. That's what this is. So that's why do I want to look for the logic? Like, Hellblade Senua is not an Asian story. It has a perfect ending. Last of Us 2, a perfect ending. Final Fantasy 7, a little more open-ended per se. It's a weird ending, right? It's a hopeful ending, and I think it was more fitting and better than this one. Child of Colossus is just a really weird fucking ending because it's a video game and it's super Asian. Okay, I think it's Asian, right? Maybe I'm wrong. It came off Asian to me. I could actually be wrong. I'm kind of curious. You know what? I'm gonna go check that. Maybe this isn't an Asian game, but it comes off as an Asian ending. Regardless, like, some of these, like, really weird, just out there endings that give you an emotion and sell something without actually having to sell, like, a logic underneath it. Now, don't get me wrong, I do, like, really like to preserve logic, but I mean, that doesn't always have to be the case, right? I mean, it says Team Eco. That's a Japanese game, right? Am I getting all this wrong? Assistance from Japan studio. So I believe the remake aspect is not Japanese. I could be wrong, but the I don't even know anymore because it looks like North America got it first. Let me see the original real quick. I want to get this information right before I go on a rant that's incorrect. All right, let me see the original. Original is, it's so hard to find the original. Japan studio. All right, I'm assuming Japan studio is Japan. Okay, I'm making that assumption. But Japan got it later. How the wait? Did they release in North America like Japanese games before Japan? Whatever. Anyway, all right. So if I had to, like, think about the ending, I mean, my reasoning for why he's a fucking baby is because, like, he became a vessel, you know, and so they, like, used his life. He also already died. If anything, they kind of revived him too because I already died. They borrowed my body, then they got sucked out of it through the seal or whatever. And technically, like, I don't know, my body was the one that committed the crime, and that's the one they took. So once they removed all of this dark energy from me, there was only the pure love baby, I don't fucking know, that I had for her. I don't know, I kind of wish it kind of stuck. Like again, romance is, like, so dead now. I would have liked it as, like the only reason why I like that ending more than what the ending was, like, could have been, was because, like, at least she's not alone. right? At least she's not alone. I think that is like true death right there, just having nothing. What the fuck? But being alive, like what a fucking suffering. So I was glad like they gave her everything. Like aggro came back. He was limping though. I'm glad he didn't die. But aggro came back, and then I guess I came back. I'm pretty sure it was me because I mean, who the fuck else would it be? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that ending. I'm not really curious about searching up theories, but I guess I'll do that just so I have some closure with the game. I don't know, man. His game was long. It was long for 7 hours. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand. I caused some of those length extensions, but at the same time, I like it doesn't matter. Like I feel like if I beat the game fast, I would still. I'm surprised to be this frustrated when Final Fantasy was like a 30. Like I played that game for a fucking month, guys. I played this game for a week, and my frustrations are like equal. This game was not fun to play, like at all. It was interesting to see, but then it upsets me because I'm watching other people like as they solve the same stuff I solved. Oh yeah, that was the second demographic. You tell me this is not the most annoying fucking people you can think of. When I saw you so close to the solution and then you walked the other way. Oh man, I was like, how could you not figure that out? Like, shut up. Jesus Christ, how full of yourself, how pretentious do you have to be to pride yourself on someone catching up to an answer that you've already had and we have no evidence of how long it took you to get that answer? You know what I mean? Like, you know those people? You know those are the same people who are like, Lion King is just a copy of Hamlet, and Avatar is just the book that no one has fucking really read, but they all know what the book is. Hamlet, same thing. People don't really know Hamlet, but but they compare. They're like, I know this is just a repaste of this thing. Oh my god, those kind of people. Anyways, I know I'm not coming off as the best kind of people either, but I'm just sick of that thought process. That was not my problem with the game. If anything, I was fascinated with seeing how people came up with their solutions or what they tried, and because some of them would actually communicate and be like, okay. Some of them would just hard cut. I'm like, oh, all right, well, that's not fun. I want to see you figure it out. You know what I mean? I want to see you suffer as I have suffered. But like some people did come up with different solutions, different approaches, because not everyone thinks alike. And then the comment section was just like, you could have just done this. I was like, wow, you have such singular goggles and you're so self-centered as like a thinker and a person. Like you need to learn how to, look through someone else's perspective. Anyways, like they all enjoyed it. I did not latch on to any of this joy. And the only part that really upset me about their gameplay is that a lot of them stumbled onto the answers. I don't know if that's like the philosophy of this game. Like they'll never actually know. I feel like I figured out some of it. Like, okay, I kind of get where I have to do with this, but some of it was just random. Like either so against logic, like the electric eel comes to mind. Everyone, as far as I could tell, was like, okay, electric eel, water, let's stay out of the water. Jump into the water. Like, I was like, what? All right. The game wouldn't fuck with me, would it? It didn't, but little did I know, the entirety of this game was fucking with me. It's got some really cool ideas, guys. I think it's amazing that you just jump onto a bird that's charging you, and then you're like floating. But then again, you're just all over the fucking place. I don't know, man. I can't think of another game where I was hanging on someone's finger and they wagged it with the most waggiest of wags, and I was just flailing with the most flailians of flailians, being a freaking Magikarp in the palm of someone else's hand. I can't think of another game where I was just like awful. The timing it takes for you to get up, the timing it takes for you to fall. I don't mean like falling off of things. I mean like when you trip for like a good minute, like ho. You're doing that frog thing that Jiraiya does in Naruto, where he's like stepping on the one foot, that dance. Oh my god, this game was so frustrating to play. I can't recommend this game unless I want to fuck with someone, or if they're literally looking for something just different. I will admit that that is both a pro and con of this game. It is very unique, the experience. I hated it, but I can understand again why people are just taken back by unique. It's the same reason why the Emoji Movie became a thing. Y'all wanted something original. You never support something original because you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't want to fucking watch it. I got no context. You know who I'm mocking. But when it has context and something you want to see, it's always something like, oh yeah, it's a remake of an adaptation of a retelling of a update, sequel, reboot. I've already said that, but you know what I mean. And then it's like, boom, let's go fucking see it. So yeah, I don't know. It's like unique is so upheld, and then fucking for like under. It's like the abortion thing. We want these kids to go, but once they're here, like, it's the same thing, right? Okay, I don't want to get political, but yeah, like it's like that. So this game is being like applauded for how unique it is. And it's like everyone is so astounded by something different. They're not focusing on the fact whether it's good or not. I think it's kind of crap. That ending is even like it's just like, oh wow, what the fuck is going on? That's amazing. I haven't seen anyone's reaction to it because I haven't seen the ending. So I'll see what they think about it. But I imagine it's like just gonna whoosh right through them. They're just gonna remember the game where you killed 16 demons, became a demon, and then became a baby, and your girlfriend / mother now raised you, because that's why I think it's Japanese. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know, man. Like, I'm so mad. I feel like I want to bitch about this game. I want the fucker who bought me this game to play through it. Actually, you know what? That should be a fucking rule. I'm sick of people doing this. People are getting me games that they haven't played through themselves. Is that not like the weirdest, most fucked up thing you ever heard of? Like, if you were into like games or movies or music. Music! You see, music would make no fucking sense, right? But for some reason, they do it for games, right? Isn't that weird? Isn't that the weirdest thing ever? Like, oh yeah, I got you this album. I never heard it, but it's got like colors you're into, so maybe you'll like it, right? So why? And then you never do it with movies. When do you recommend a movie to someone that you've never even seen? Like, I haven't seen it, but it seems like something you'd like, right? I understand where you can go. I understand if you know the person well enough, this is plausible. But it's fucked up. It's kind of fucked up to be like, I just bought you this game, and in a way, it's more fucked up because a game is like a lot longer than a fucking album. Album is like max like an hour, right? And for me, even less, because I do skim through music. Like I'm one of those people. Movies, I skim through movies as well, a little shorter. But games, I'm not running it on emulator. And if I was, then it wouldn't count as a gift. You've bought me like a game I cannot pace myself. I am at the mercy of the game's pacing and the hours it demands from my life. And you don't even know if you like it. Asshole. Sorry, guy. No, you actually watched my video, so I appreciate the gift. I understand why you got me the gift. Thank you. Fuck you. No. Play through it. You know what? I got semi-revenge because I knew the frustration of The Last Guardian. This guy said, I want to play something different, which is lies. It's fucking lies. You never play anything different. I'm being somewhat mean, but honest. I'm being honest. You never really play anything different. Don't tell me you play something different, then you play Cyberpunk. Don't tell me you play different, then you're playing Batman. And then what's the other thing? BioShock. You were playing fucking BioShock. How? Whatever. This is a different game. This is literally a different game. I don't like it, but it is different, and that's not even debatable. This is a very different, unique game. The only thing like generic per se about it is still a strength, which is the wonder. Again, I told you this game constantly reminded me of Zelda. And it does, like, it makes me want to play Zelda again, just to get into like this really weird fantasy world. But I mean, I have got like I got to switch. I'll play Breath of the Wild sometime. Of course, that's like the least Zelda game, right? Anyways, yeah, I hate playing this game. I can't say that enough. It was just awful. I think that really ruined like any sort of impact. Don't get me wrong. I think the ending, I've said that phrase a lot because it's my new phrase. I thought the ending was really tragic. And then oddly not hopeful, but just weird. I kind of wish it was one or the other, but no, they went for like this really fucking weird ending. I don't know what they're trying to do with that ending, but whatever. I'm glad she's not alone. It sucks that I don't even get to like be with her in a normal form. But again, the way they were setting everything up, it was a very like not gonna be a happy ending. I think it's messed up that like 5 fucking strangers came in, fucked me over, and then just left. I don't know, whatever. I guess I get that from their perspective, I'm the villain, so technically they're like they did nothing wrong. They're trying to save the world or some shit. Yeah. I don't know, this cheap yeah, those are 16 of our bodies, and now we're one, and we're gonna destroy you. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. It's fine, but it's just I didn't care about that. I am semi glad they did. That was like such a detour, and I guess that's the only climax they thought they could have. So we went back to like focusing on my love for this girl. Um, but yeah, I don't really have much to say about the game that's positive. I'm trying to think of positives because all I have are fucking negatives. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll just only talk for 30 minutes. I got nothing to say about this game. There's really not a lot in this game, right? There's 16 Colossi. I mean, it's definitely, if you're into the Colossi matches, there's definitely a bunch of them, but I did feel like they started losing variety in terms of the boss itself. And I don't know if I count it as an evolution, but it started becoming like very environmental, but not in the way it was before. Like it opened up, it was like, again, I will say when it started off, it came off more like a puzzle game because they were like, okay, I know what to do. And you figured it out. But eventually it became set pieces. Like, okay, I do this to do this to do this, and this activates this, and this activates this. And it was this very linear thing. I wouldn't consider that a puzzle. It comes off like a set piece. Like I'm moving through the emotions that the game wants me to go through, rather than once I find out what to do, then I can like I don't know. Everything about this game, every execution of a puzzle slash set piece was annoying in this fucking game. I don't know. Like the most typical one I felt was that salamander thing, like in the Colosseum where it was like climbing the walls, because I was like, that one is actually probably their most generic thing, and I thought it was only enjoyable because of how fast it was. I think, like, all right, it's straight up like you can't stay in one place because it'll blast you. Like that was like such a typical boss battle compared to everything else. I wouldn't even consider the last guy a boss battle. It was like a set piece, right? Right? You know what I mean? Like you didn't solve anything. It's weird. You understand what I'm trying to find this line? There's a difference between like, I don't know. I'm trying to explain why it doesn't feel like a puzzle because it fits all the ideas of a puzzle, but maybe it's just not the puzzle I like. But then we have a problem there because the puzzles are somewhat subjective in terms of what you consider a puzzle. The same way what you consider a riddle, which kind of hurt my little Riddler thing with the Batman. I was like, oh, that's a riddle. All right, he's just explaining it. But yeah, like it was very set piecey. Maybe it's just the action aspect of it. Maybe that's what makes it feel more like a set piece. Whereas the other ones, it was like, okay, I can think this through. Whereas this one's more like, okay, no. Once his hand comes up, I have to jump on the hand and then shoot the shoulder and then stab the hand so I stay still and then jump on that and then repeat the same shit until it's dead. That ending fight was oddly, I don't know. It's like a great, cool set piece that ended with such a whimper because you just stab it in the fucking head a few times. What the fuck? Oh my god, I don't know. The length of these guys just started getting really annoying. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I guess I'll stop it at 30. I didn't really like the game. I kind of hated it. I know that sounds bad. I kind of hated the game. Playing it was just awful. I'm glad Agro's alive. I'm glad my girl's alive. She doesn't have a name. I don't think so. We didn't let the doorman take over the world. I guess we're kind of just abandoned in this island. It's something. I'm hearing masterpiece already from all these comments, but that's fine. I'm mostly sure that they played it when they were younger, and if not, then they've already heard about the legacy of the game. Has there anyone who's like played Shadow of the Colossus was like, I just stumbled onto this game called Shadow of the Colossus because I wanted to play these games that no one's really heard of. Let's see what's about. No, I'm pretty sure most of them are already starting from this is an amazing game. Like, this is the actual game, and it's the most amazing thing ever. When you fight these, and they're getting like, in the most negative sense, brainwashed into just accepting this horrible experience. No, I get it. I get why it worked for some people. They're patient and they don't care. They just don't fucking care about like certain things. That's fine. I care about certain things, like being able to control my character without him flying all the time. So I hated playing the game. I got kind of bored of seeing the game. I thought they started fizzling out in both designs. People are defending it by saying, like, it's weird because that defense was like never for fucking God of War. Like, when God of War they have what's called like reskins or like reused assets, and you're like, that's, you can tell they were trying to save money. So that's a fire version, and that's an ice version, and that's an electrical version of the same thing. And like that's what they defend this game. They're like, no, you don't understand. Those are serpents in the sand and on land, and now in the sky. I was like, okay, that's fine. But like, I mean, a lot of people said like, oh, this looks just like the bull. Now, don't get me wrong, it played completely different. It was definitely not the same weird ass thing to do, but it design wise, yeah, like this guy does look like a smaller version of the guy with the beard, and then one of the bladed guys kind of looks like this too. Like there were some samey designs. Again, it works somewhat organically. Like how varied should they be? They're a being. They're like they're Colossi. If they all look dramatically different, they can't really be related. They have to have some sort of gene pool. I don't know how logical we're going with the game that has no logic in it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This one, I would literally only recommend it if I hate you. Like, if I was like, you know what? This guy's been being all hotshot about video games. I'm going to put him through one that will fight you. Yeah. So, like, again, my baseline. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say. I recommend this game because of the experience, though the very unique experience that it is, and where, like, PS2 was just a beautiful time, guys. Like, I know a lot of people said this game was like ahead of its time. I would actually agree with that. And then it became before its time. Very shortly, when people started figuring out controls by PS3, it became before its time. Later PS2, they started figuring out the proper control schemes and like physics. Okay. Anyways, I would recommend this game if you want to play something different, but only for the first 4 bosses. And then after that, don't talk to me about how much you hate it. Like, that's your fault. That's where I end my recommendation, and that's very unique. I've never like done that. Like, have I done that for a game? Like, no, just play the first 2 hours. That's the best part of the game, right? Isn't that weird? Besides that, I hated playing it. I hope to never play it. I hope to see someone suffer close to me playing it. Because I don't like them and I want them to suffer during a video game. Be like, yeah, this is what an old game feels like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so sorry, guys. I know I feel bad because these are like super popular things that are so beloved. I'm over here like, I hate it. It's so ass. And I know it's hard to like be like, oh, he doesn't like it, therefore I don't like you. Don't make that connection. I don't like the game. I understand everyone gets... See, I'm making fucking disclaimers because everyone makes disclaimers to not come off as a complete asshole or like that kind of person or get like a bunch of hate messages. Like Turning Red, guys. Oh my god. If I reacted to Turning Red, I'd be like, wow, this thing is... Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this game at all. It was... It's not worth playing for me. It was so not worth finishing. And that ending that I'm hearing so amazing things about, I think it was okay. I honestly think this is a worse experience overall than Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I did not like this game. It's and you know, whatever. I didn't like this game. I thought it was kind of awful to play and experience and sit through. I don't think that ending was good enough to save it. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what else to say. I'll go for 35 because I like clean numbers. I got nothing, guys. Honestly, I'm gonna cut it off here. I did not like this game. Hopefully the next game is better. This is a loss for me. This was a fucking 7-hour loss for me playing this. It was horrible. It was really bad for me. Yeah, that's it. I'm so sorry. Ta-ta. Ta-ta.